Well, nearby the castle, ladies and gentlemen, I found this thing. It's a little spire sticking out of the water. We're going to take a look at it. If it's nothing of any importance, I'm just going to delete this footage. If it's something cool, well, it must be because you guys are seeing it. Well, onwards and inwards. Ow. Kooky. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. I'm glad I ate that cookie. Oh, yeah, abandon all hope, because it's a creeper. I don't like this. It's a maze, okay. That's gonna be easy, because we have a mini-map, which is basically cheating. I just have to be careful, tongue-tied, careful of any possible booby traps. Ah, it's water. Sure is creepy as frig. What is this? Just a fountain. Okay, the soul sand had me creeped out there for a second. It appears that this is just a... okay. Aha! And what is in this? Now, it's the old-fashioned dispenser arrow trap. You ain't gonna fool me. What is this the way we came? This is not the way we came in. Oh. Word. And it's broken. That was broken from the inside. What the fuck? Okay, back into creepy room place. Creepers and maybe a zombie. Multiple creepers. There's some quartz slabs on the ground. Obviously remnants of whatever capped this thing. I do not like this. Broville, why do you gotta do me like this, man? Something here. Oh. My word. Creepers, creepers, creepers. Yeah. Anyone else want to dance? If I can't. come out and play. And this is actually getting kind of creepy. King Heraldus by H. Original. This book's spine is clearly torn. The rest of the journal must be missing. Orange, yellow, and these were people of the flame, or the order of the flame. I don't know what to call them. There you go, Dark Facts. King Heraldus' Journal, Part 1. Preface. Written in this book shall be a brief account of my and my men's journey here deep beneath the earth. As for how we came to this place, I shall explain. An unfamiliar and evidently ancient tomb was recently discovered in our library by one of our scribes. Whether the thing had been simply forgotten about or if it had somehow materialized on its own, none can say as of yet. In any event, the book makes reference to a world very near to ours, which is ordinarily imperceptible. Included in this tome were descriptions of strange locales and even stranger inhabitants of these places. Of particular note mentioning was of a particular artifact that lies in the possession of some ruler of this realm. The artifact may supposedly endow its owner with a variety of effects such as unnatural strength, endless vigor, the reversal of aging, the materialization of various foodstuff, and other such effects. Whether or not such a thing truly exists, one cannot say, but if these tall tales are true, then I would make this artifact my own, and with the assistance of our kingdom's greatest minds, I would bring prosperity to my kingdom. It is for this purpose that we come to this place. We shall seek out its owner and request the artifact. If they will not see reason, then we will have to pry it loose from their lifeless hands. More recently, a watchtower guard reported a most bizarre sighting. During midday, he claimed that off the distance the air began to shimmer and ripple as though caused by a great heat. When this rippling air began to collect a kind of shadow stuff, as he put it, condensing in greater and greater quantities until it seemed to totally solidify into some kind of stony structure. By his account, the rippling ceased afterwards. When he reported this story, he was first accused of drunkenness, but a cursory investigation revealed that there was in fact some kind of stone hut. Now look, that's what we went into. Yeah, that's this. Regarding the aforementioned tome, the stone structure identically matched an illustration found in it. It is clear that the way has been opened to us. We shall make use of this opportunity while we still have it. Day 1. After gathering around myself a group of my bravest and most skilled knights, we collected some supplies together and set off for the marvelous, mysterious stone structure. We crossed the marsh and approached the structure. On the north face, we found an entryway. Within was a staircase leading down to the earth. At the bottom of the flight of stairs, we came to a doorway with a warning engraved above it. Undeterred by this message, we pressed onward. Beyond this doorway, we passed through a series of rooms and some narrow tunnels. Some of these tunnels were rigged with traps of various designs, though after their initial discovery, we managed to continue rather unscathed. At last, we arrived in an unusual chamber. Towards the center of it rested a flat, circular white slab that appeared to rest on top of a stone base. Occupying the chamber was a man of very advanced age. Wondering what such a man would be doing in such a place, we asked him about the matter. He replied stating that he was the keeper of the seal, and he had been awaiting our arrival. Without further prompting, the old man arose from his seated position and shuffled over to the circular slab. Evoking a strength that could not have possibly matched his frail-looking body, the keeper, as he called himself, pulled the slab away, revealing a pit of inky blackness far below. He informed us that he would have to replace the slab after we passed through, though, and that he would pull it away again only once more in 10 days' time. Evidently, our mission would be a timed one. We cast down a rope ladder and began our descent. After Wilhelm, the last member of our party, cleared the gap, the slab above was pushed back into place, and what little life streamed in from above was cut off. Frederick offered to shed some light on our surroundings by lighting a torch. We found ourselves in a rather ordinary-looking cave, although we could scarcely see more than a few feet without the aid of a light source. We agreed that setting up an encampment would be our first priority, so we set about searching for a suitable location. We soon found a defensible position that had sufficient space for our needs. Using the materials we had brought along with us, we set up 2 makeshift defensive walls to block off our camp from the surrounding caves. Afterwards, we set about pitching our tents, lighting the fire, etc. This area will serve us suitably during our time down here. In the morning, we shall split up into 3 groups so as to cover more ground in our scouting. By day's end, we will all report to the encampment to report on our findings. That's part 1 of his journal. So this was obviously their encampment. Leonard's journal. It is my hope that in writing down this recollection, I might again happen upon some detail in my memory that has hence been obscured by fright and dread. If not else, it may serve as a warning for any that would venture down here where we have been. Gosh, I can't read. Upon leaving the encampment this day, my party and I departed through a small tunnel system to the south. The tunnels were rather plain until we came to a pool of water into which a small stream trickled from a tunnel above. We clambered up this tunnel and investigated farther. The end of it opened into a large cave resembling something limestone. The vast chamber was black as pitch, and only by the glow of our torches could we find our way. Water trickled in seemingly every which way in this cave. We could scarcely walk about without stepping into a puddle or another. Pools of stagnant water abounded, thick and laden with minerals unfit for drinking, surely. I'm unsure exactly of what happened, but while I was looking away, something dreadful happened to Robert. I heard a violent thrashing coming from the pool, some ways away. By his panicked yells. By the time I arrived at edge, all was quiet. Robert was missing. Douglas shone his torch upon the water's bowl, but all was as darkness below. Not about to risk the lives of my remaining comrades, and we found no indication of there being anything worthwhile in the area we departed. It has been some time now, and the other parties have returned. A couple of the other men have been wounded, but at least they are still with us. On the morrow, Heraldus and his company returned to the limestone cave to search for Robert, if by some chance he survived. I gave them due warning that they do not face the same fate. So a lot of reading I'm going to have to do. Reginald's journal. Told you, a lot of reading. Written here shall be an account of the events that befell our search party. Departing from the encampment in the morning, we headed north, eventually coming upon a series of tunnels that featured narrow walls and high, gradually ascending ceilings. We wound our way through these tall halls until we came to an ill omen. Along our path were arrayed pikes with the withered skulls of some long-forgotten victims thrust through their sharpened tips. A warning of the most dire variety, but we were not about to be swayed from our sacred task by such threats. We soon met one of the inhabitants of this dark realm, a creature assuming the general shape of a man, 2 arms, 2 legs, etc., but whose head and facial features are distinctly porcine. We steeled ourselves for combat, but thankfully it didn't come to that, though. Though wretched in appearance, the creature took little interest, giving more of a snort of acknowledgement before going off to wherever it was headed. Proceeding up a nearby slope, we discovered a large tunnel whose walls were held up by crude wooden supports. I must admit that I was somewhat worried of the craftsmanship of these structures, but their presence necessitated investigation. At the other end of this tunnel, we found a rather extensive mining operation. Ore and crates were piled up nearly to the ceiling in the main chamber, and a railway snaked every which way to the various branches of the mine. Again, we met more of the Pigman creatures, their black, dull eyes, vacuous and empty. Apparently they were responsible for all the operations of the mine, as we came across several that were working on the extraction, transportation, and packaging of the various ores. Finding no farther leads in the mine, we turned back to investigate the cave spire. Osborne chanced upon a narrow path that led us upwards, so we followed it. Along this path we found a number of small chambers that were carved into the walls. Inside we tended to find a variety of detritus, piles of hay, hunks of rotting meat, bones, etc. These hovels appeared to serve as residences of the Pigmen, although I shudder to think what daily life down here must be like. Brutal to say the least. We continued up the path until we came to a larger chamber at the end of it. At the center of the room, a ferocious bonfire with bloodied stakes arranged around it. Piles of golden bones littered the area at the far side, a crude stone hut. The chamber appeared unoccupied. From amongst one of the piles of gold, Kenneth unearthed a golden sword that thrummed with a peculiar power. It was at this time that we were found by what I presume must have been the Pigman's chieftain, a lumbering beast with primitive metal armor hanging upon its bulky frame. It was enraged at our intrusion, and a quarrel erupted. What a dreadful beast it was! Though my blade struck it, it barely seemed to notice upon being fixated upon Kenneth and the golden sword he now wielded. I never had seen such savagery. It convulsed and sent its claws flying with intense violence. Though itself not a demon, it surely must have been possessed by one. We fought valiantly, but were forced to retreat. Kenneth having been struck worse by the beast, and Baldric did not fare much better. The chieftain calmed after retrieving his sword, but now practically the whole of the Pigman village set upon us. With myself supporting our injured comrades, Osborne fought on our behalf, and it was a long and bloody trek back to the encampment. On our trip back, we had the good fortune of running into Heraldus and his party, who had all just finished their explorations for the day. We all returned to the encampment, finding Leonard and his party here, although Robert is missing. They'll go searching for him tomorrow, and I wish them all the best. In the meantime, I'll be staying here to watch over our wounded comrades. Despite the ordeals of this day, Baldric is still in good spirits, but it's hard to say how Kenneth will turn out. Exhaustion has finally caught up with me. This will have to be all for the time being. Potatoes and rotten flesh. Those must have been their supplies at one point before they rotted. Whew. Okay. Oh! This was the way I came in. Holy fuck. I'm definitely gonna have to split this up into a couple of episodes. In fact, I almost want to change this to peaceful just because it's gonna take too long. And normal, having to deal with the mobs all the time. A lot of spider webs. I'm sorry if I'm quiet. This is just like utterly creepy for me. Oh, cave spiders. There are spawners around. Gosh dang it. I hate cave spiders. Those are the pigmen. I can only assume that's what those are, at least. There we go. Invincibility apple. Hoi. Oh yeah. Boom. Get some. Now, what is this? These are obviously traps of some sort. That is not the way that I need to go. That's a cactus. El cactissimo. Just on the other side of this wall. but immersion. Yeah, fuck off. Oh, I see. This is a 2-tier maze. Nice. I'm curious about these things, though. I would have at least expected some dynamite. Skeleton. Oh my god. I am like getting legitimately freaked now. Oh my god. They did not mention this in the reports. They did not mention that. What? No, no, nope. That is a lot of nope. I did not sign up to explore the fucking hell dimension. Oh, man. Shit. I'm gonna hate myself for this. Oh my god. There goes that. Problem with dynamic lighting is now the when I hit the mobs and they're on fire, it causes me to lag spike. Along with all this running and moving and shites. Oh crap. Yep, not going down here right now.